Alright guys, another day in my 164 NASCAR workshop. I'll show you what I've got going on, and my plan for this video is I want to put some JB Weld on these two cars that have been painted and glued back together. I've put a coat of paint on the underbelly and one coat of paint primer on the tops of these, so I need to put a second coat of the flat white primer on these two, and this one, because that's going to be white. This one is going to be silver, and so I'll show you the silver paint on that one, and if I get around to it, looks like I've got gotta do the black around the edges here. Looks like I might have a little bit of work to do on these interior pieces a little bit, and yeah, might put a coat of sealer on that, so, or on these two. So let's see what I want to do first. I think, see, the silver paint that I have, it dries really fast, so I think I'll put and I like to paint the underbelly of these things to at least closely match what the top coat is. This is the paint scheme. I had the silver background removed. A lot of blue on this, but the silver decal, my experience with silver decals are they don't show up so well. So instead of having the blue removed, I had the silver removed. And then of course you got a lot of blue decal. The back is orange. So yeah, so we'll paint this silver, and done this car a handful of times before. It's Eric McClure, number 14. So yeah, so we'll do that. Let's do that first, because I think I can paint this silver, let it dry for like 10 minutes, and then paint the top coat silver while I'm still running the video. That's how quickly it dries. So let's do that first. And I use this tester spray enamel paint. This is it's really nice. It's a nice, silver. This color here, this is more of a sparkly metallic color. That's really reserved for kind of like special paint schemes that I'll do, kind of one-offs and stuff. So, alright, let's get this going here. So I'm just going to paint the underbelly first, and sometimes I'll set it like this on my little stand. Yeah, so let me set the camera down, shake this up, and let's do this. That's it. So let's see. Probably should have done it over here, because I kind of like to keep, this was white. I have two of these little stands. That was my white stand. This is my kind of colored. It does go back and forth, but I've got white to do. So let's move that off of that stand and put it over here. I will say, I bought this the other day. Copper Rose, $7 at Home Depot, and I've been wanting to buy this probably for a couple years. It's kind of weird how whenever I go to Home Depot now, I just walk through the paint aisle and see what they've got, see what's new, see what their prices are. But I want to do a special paint scheme in this color. I've always liked the copper color, and this has like a tint of reddish, pinkish with the copper rose. So yeah, so I'm kind of just stewing in my mind what I want to do, a special paint scheme with this. And I've never used this type of Rust-Oleum Universal, Advanced Formula Metallic before. So I'm curious as to how this, and it's a paint and primer. So I'm curious how this turns out, and yeah, so that's there. Something I want to get to at some point. I mean, I can already see this is already drying really quickly. So I like to lay my little bottle sideways like that, so that when it's upside down, it dries like that. And then, of course, when I paint this side, I just leave it upright, and it seems to sit perfectly like that. All right, so let's paint this. A second coat of the white primer. And just set that over there for now. So I'm going to do all three of these. Won't take too long, I don't think. Let me set this down. And do that. Obviously, when you're painting, you want to always keep your hands moving. Never want to keep your hands still. All right, that's two down. And I like to move them quickly off of the stand because it will dry and obviously get sticky. So you kind of have to, I like to get them off the stand before it does any type of drying. This over here. All right. You can see my stands here. See the paint build up on that one? And this is a more recent one. Actually, it's kind of funny. I'm looking at this. This is a piece of hardwood floor, and I put the hardwood flooring in upstairs, I think in 2014. So that's 6 years old. That stand is. This piece is older. You can see how fatter it is compared to the other one. This one goes back probably at least to 2012. So that stand, I've been painting on that stand for 8 years. And painting on that one for 6 years. Yeah, I've made a lot of customs. That's kind of funny. All right, my experience is the white takes longer to dry. The white primer takes longer to dry than the black. The black dries pretty quickly. So my plan usually is once I paint the white, I pretty much let it dry for a good 6 to 8 hours, if not a whole day, before I put a second coat on. Whereas the black I can probably do it in an hour or two. And I say I wait. I usually go another, that long before I put a top coat on. So like this was white, and I painted that yesterday. So it's been a good 16 to 24 hours since I let that dry. Again, I'm not in any rush most of the time. Sometimes I'm in a rush. Somebody wants something quickly. I try to get it done. But usually waiting a day, and then I don't have any problems with paint adhesion and all that. All right, so let's get these JB Weld done. And let's get this out of the way. Used up my steel wool, last bit of my steel wool yesterday, so I'm going to get another piece out. This is some of the cheapest steel wool I've ever used. It's just cheap crap. I bought this set. This is just 12 pieces of, it says multi-grade steel wool, and I think I got this for $1, maybe $2. At trying to think of the name of the place. It wasn't Harbor Freight. It was another store similar to Harbor Freight. But I figured I'd give it a try for $1 or $2. You can't really go wrong if it doesn't work out. So let's see if I can do portion control, because I'm just doing these 2 cars right now. See if I can get this out. And see how much I've wasted. This is pretty thick. Got to do a better job of my portion control here. Let's try that. Yeah, this is probably still too much, but at the end of the day, it's not as much as I did before. Okay. I washed my hands a little bit ago. Starting to feel a little. So I like to put a little bit of extra on top of this area here, I glue it with the Tester's clear glue, but since I make enough of this JB Weld, I like to put just a little bit extra on top of these window and plastic pieces that go on the inside, just to make sure they're not going anywhere. I also kind of look around, make sure I don't have any like fuzzies or little pieces of plastic on the inside, because once I put this back together with the JB Weld, trying to get anything out of the inside is a real pain. Sometimes you can stick a paper clip or a toothpick or something in there to get something off of a window, by shoving it through the driver's window. But it's best if you look through it right now before you secure the car together. Make sure I don't get any on my fingers. Okay. Alright, so that's holding together pretty good. I don't think I need to clamp it. I might have too much here. Well, I definitely do. Just a little bit more here. Okay. Alright, so that's that one. Another little bit on this dash piece. I drilled out of one of these cars the other day. I wasn't doing it on the camera. And, I butchered it. I butchered it bad. I'll show you here in a second, now that I remember. But yeah, the drill, I don't know, I guess I was just going too fast, and I wasn't really paying attention enough or whatever, but I was drilling it out, and it just slid off to the side and just chewed up the plastic piece. So yeah, sometimes that happens. When you're doing custom work, it's not always perfect. It's not always ideal. I shouldn't say perfect. It's not always ideal. Come here. It just is going to take a little bit more JB Weld. Alright, this piece here. Okay. That's in place, that's in place. I don't think I'll have to clamp either one of these. Alright. Not the cleanest job that I've done, but it'll work. See, I was drilling out this car here. You can see I just chewed that thing up here on the top. So, drill kind of slipped off to the bottom here. So when I go to put that back together, that'll be a lot of JB weld. And, yeah. Like I said, it's unfortunate. Sometimes I get, mistake. It's not perfect. So, I try to mask it as best as I can. Most important thing is getting it back secured to the piece when I'm done. So, or when I'm ready to put that back together. All right. I don't have too much left over there. Alright, so see, I got a little bit of red to do on some of these interior pieces. I didn't get my music going today. I have to get my music going here pretty soon. Typically like to listen to instrumental music. Yeah, I'm old-fashioned, I guess. I don't know. I like instrumental music. I do obviously like Christian music. I really liked Petra. It's going back a ways, isn't it? I really liked Petra when I first became a Christian. And then in the 90s, I started listening to For Him. If you've ever heard of For Him. They're no longer a group now. But yeah, so I like going on YouTube and I'll pull up some For Him songs. They released a lot of Christian songs. What was contemporary Christian songs. So I'll listen to them. Listen to what some of their best songs. So I'm going to do these little fire extinguishers and a couple of these here. And the way I do that is I get some red on this paper. Like so. And I've got so I've already did this is a 2013, so the 2013 comes with all of it. All of this inside is this gray color, and so I have to admit I kind of like the gray better because it's, when you look at the actual race cars in the interior, they're actually gray. I understand though the black, because the black is, I don't know, it seems to give a better appearance on the car when you black out the interior. So I understand that. The fire extinguishers behind the seat, obviously, I'm not sure if they're still there anymore. I don't know. But the struggle there is I try to keep it from getting on the back of the driver's seat, or the seat, because there's no passenger seat, and then trying not to get it on this little tower on the back side. Just try to get it just on on that fire extinguisher there. And that's basically it. If I do get it on the seat, then I just wait till it dries and then I'll scrape it off. And then I think, yeah, I haven't done this one yet either. So lift that plastic piece over, and I got a black fire extinguisher down there to red. Sorry if I can't show this, because the lighting. The lighting is not so great for me to see and also show you guys. As much as I love you guys, I want to make sure I don't screw it up, so I want to see. Yeah. So that turned out pretty good. Put that back. Yeah. And that's it. Just those two were red. Clean off my toothpick here. Now I think this is already dry. Yeah. The silver's already dry. So let's go put some silver on this thing. Top coat. And we'll see how that looks. There's my silver paint. This silver paint is really, I'll say thick. Comes out thick, so I've got to be careful not to get too much on there. So I can always put a second coat on if I don't get it thick enough. But most of the time, actually, if I get it just right, the silver's not. Second coat isn't needed. And actually the hood in the front is going to be covered with the blue. The important pieces for silver on this particular car is this front area here on the sides and the roof, because all this is all dark blue here, this is orange on the back. So I'm not too concerned with the paint job on those covered areas. So alright, there's some detail I can do to those interior pieces, but letting that stuff dry, letting that go, and I gotta clear coat those, so I'll do that in a little bit. God bless you guys, thanks for watching, take care.